Hello, it's Amy with Just a Little Ink. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, living in Littleton, Colorado, and I'm here today to share with you a card that I've created using a new set. It's the Christmas season stamp set. It's a photopolymer stamp set out of our new July to December 2021 mini catalog. You can find it on page 18. If you choose to purchase the bundle, it's a $54 bundle, which I know is a little on the higher end, but it is absolutely stunning. And you're probably going to want to pair it with the stamp set and bundle on the following page. But because we have an August to September celebration going on. It's the first time ever that Stampin' Up! Has done 2 celebrations during 1 year. Goes for 2 months, but for every $50, you can choose some wonderful products out of our celebration brochure. There's a number of them to choose for just the $50, and then there are some that with a $100 order, and that $100 or $50 order is before shipping and tax. But let me tell you the rest. So this card idea came from a swap I'd received recently from a sweet Phoebe Bigelow. She's out of Arizona, and I just loved it so much, but wanted to use products I have. I do not own the stamp set she'd used. I'm using the I can't talk today. I am using the greetings that are in the Poinsettia Petals stamp set. This was in last year's mini catalog in the fall, but it's in our big annual catalog now. I'm also using the Picture This dies, but I'm only using it to cut out that one little greeting. There's lots of different ways to use this die, and it's just awesome. So what you need, and I will have all of these measurements on my blog, justalittleink.com. But what you need in order to make this card, you'll need a half a sheet, 5.5 by 8.5 of Sahara Sand cardstock. You'll want a piece of basic white, 4 inches by 5.25 for on the inside. And then I have a piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock. Oh my, and again, I did not tell you where I measured. It is measured at, I'm going to pull my ruler out, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Then you will need a piece of basic white that's 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. You'll need a small piece of our vellum cardstock, and again, I forgot to give measurements, 1 1/8 inches by 3 1/2 inches. And then you just need a scrap piece of basic white in order to stamp on the greeting. And then we will cut it out again using that beautiful Picture This dies. And then you also want some of our 2021-2023 in color jewels. These have been very popular, gone on and off of our back order list, but just a wonderful addition to everything. So let's begin. So what we're going to start with, I think we'll start with the greeting, to be honest. So I'm going to pull out my scrap piece, and I'm using just the Merry Christmas. I like, when I'm doing Christmas cards, I like them to say Merry Christmas. You might like Season's Greetings, and that's fine. There are some other options. And the paired stamp set that goes coordinates so nicely with the Christmas seasons would work really nicely for that. I wasn't as attracted to the greetings. So I'm stamping the Merry Christmas using our Evening Evergreen stamp pad. It's one of our brand new in colors. And then what I did is I took my die. I love this stitched effect that this die has. And so what I did is I laid it on top, kind of lined it up where I thought it ought to be. And then again, you can use just some retired washi or some low-tack tape. That's really all you need. Run it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I've already done that, and so you don't have to watch. And it comes out just like this. It is just, I love the little stitching. It's not quite as fine. It's got little scattered small and larger stitches. So we did that part, and then I want to stamp the front. And so what I did is I took, again, that Evening Evergreen, and using different pieces from this two-step stamp, I just came in. I want to make sure that it comes up. And then I'm going to come in. I want to put it the other direction. And it's okay if it overlaps a little because you're not going to see it. That greeting covers up an awful lot of what we've got going on. I'm going to set this aside because I will need it for the inside. Then I took Blackberry Bliss and one of the other leaf elements from this stamp set, and I'm going to stamp full strength. I'm going to come in, and I want it to overlap some. I'm going to come up here, and then again I'm going to go in the opposite direction going downward. I want to make sure that I'm not going off my paper, like so. And I won't need Blackberry Bliss, so I'm going to go ahead and put it away. Then I want to stamp my pine cones, and so I'm going to use, for my base color, I'm going to use again Sahara Sand. That's our base cardstock color. So I'm going to ink up. This is a two-step pine cone. They are very good sized, which actually is wonderful. They were larger than I thought they might be. I'm going to stamp that base in Sahara Sand, again, one direction and then in the opposite direction. Was amazed how quickly this stamp set goes together. I'm going to keep this out because we're going to eventually put those little polka dots all over. I need a darker option though, and so I'm going to pull out Soft Suede, and I'm going to use the layering piece of this pine cone. See how well I can line up on camera. Okay, so. And then I'm going to line up on the other direction. And hope we did all right, since it's in the opposite direction. Not too bad. It's a little off, but that's all right. And then again, we're going to do those little polka dots. All of these stamps are in this same grouping, nothing new. So then what I did is I came in and I'm just going to kind of fill in a little bit. I don't want it everywhere, but I want some of those polka dots to shine out. So I'm going to give a little bit here. You're not going to see too many more of them. All right, so we can put this away. And then it's a matter of layering everything. So I'm going to take my stamped image. I'm going to pull out my Stampin' Seal. Takes a little getting used to Stampin' Seal, but it is a great adhesive. If you haven't tried it out, I challenge you to do so. Wonderful, wonderful. All of these products that I am sharing with you today can be found on my Stampin' Up website, justalittleink.stampinup.net. And fold my base cardstock. It's scored at 4 1/4 inches. And so I'm going to fold it along that score line. Told you I couldn't talk today. And this is going to go down flat. And it's just a little smaller. It's not a 1/4 inch layer, which I kind of like. Gives a little more layer of that Sahara Sand. Just a sliver of the Blackberry Bliss. So then I'm going to take my greeting and I'm going to attach it to the front of my vellum. Should have an equal layer around. It's mostly so. And then I need to put on dimensionals because I loved how it popped it up. You could use Blackberry Bliss instead of this Evening Evergreen, but it is so pretty. And I liked how it all kind of came together. So pieces out of the way. So then I just layered it right in the center. It covers up that messiness where the two come together. Again, it was just, I loved Phoebe's card, and the layout was just spot on. And then it needs an inside greeting. So what I did is I pulled out the Evening Evergreen, and I'm going to use the greeting from my inside that says warm wishes from our home to yours. So let me ink it up. Looks like I stamped a little heavy into my pad, so I want to be careful not to push too hard on that right side. There we go. And then I thought it would look great if I would put just one other little element from the stamps. And so I'm going to stamp right here. It's like so. Then I can attach that on the inside of my card. Like that. I think this is going to make some great, you could do it in all kinds of different color combinations, and you could have the same card for your Christmas cards, but they all be different. But don't forget, you want to add some jewels. I think some of our gold accessories would look absolutely stunning for this card. So what I'm doing is I pulled out some of these larger ones. I'm going to put one up here. There's two sizes to these in color jewels. I'm using my take your pick tool, and over here I think I'd come in over this way, but I put a few extra of those silly polka dots, but still like it. I think I'll come in then about here. But you could scatter as many as you want. I like threes, so I tend to do threes, but that's it. A nice, simple and elegant stamp card for Christmas. Thanks again for joining me. If you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would hope that you would do so. And if you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. You can place an order anytime on my website, justalittleink.stampinup.net. And if you do, please use my host code. I have rewards for every $50 before shipping and tax. As you accumulate them, and you can find all of those details on my blog, justalittleink.com. Thanks again. See you again next time.